Hi everyone, this is Attorney Tharpe, and I am here live to take your immigration questions. I always like to close out the night with you, and so I am here. So go ahead and drop your questions in the comments right now to get the answers to your immigration questions. Now, for those of you who don't know who I am U.S. Immigration Attorney Tharpe, and I focus my practice on helping people to come to the United States, get their green cards, get their work permits, and basically fix their immigration status and to live in the United States. Hi there, Sexy Tommy, it's nice to see you. And I automatically know now that I should look out for you to give you updates, and I have no updates in regards to the immigration reform, but I'm keeping my eye open for you. So okay, so go ahead, drop your questions. Your questions are my priority. Today I did a Facebook Live because I am on Facebook as well. And I did the Facebook Live on how to fix your immigration status if you don't qualify to apply for the green card in the United States. So I'm going to talk a little about that tonight. But I want to remind you that I am here to answer your immigration questions, so it doesn't have to be related to what I'm talking about. It can be anything that's immigration related. So go ahead and drop your questions in the comments. I'm going to keep an eye out. Also, if you don't know me, you can tune in, listen to me, ask your questions, and then you can follow me if you would like to tune into my lives. I usually come on towards the end of the day, so between 7 and 10 I'll come on to the live. So if you follow me, you will be able to get noticed when I'm live, so you can tune in. You can also check the link in my bio if you want to learn more about me, and if you would like to contact the firm to schedule a personal consultation to seek representation or some advice on your particular immigration situation. My phone number, I can say it right now, and I'm going to put it in the comments. So it's 561-405-4889. And I'm under the immigration attorney in the comments, so you can go ahead and write that. Hi there, user 544. Thank you for the heart. So go ahead and drop your questions in the comments. So how to fix your immigration status if you don't qualify to apply for the green card in the United States. So there's a common misconception that if you are currently in the United States and if you have a relative who can apply for you to get your green card, that you automatically qualify to apply for stay in the United States and apply for the green card. And that is not true. Okay, so user 544, do I get alimony if I divorce my US citizen husband and I am an immigrant? So that would be a question for a family law attorney as to whether you can get alimony, because alimony is not automatically granted. It really depends on the circumstances in your particular situation, the length of marriage, what happened in the marriage. So that would be a question best directed towards a family law attorney. However, I don't believe that your immigration status would necessarily prevent you from getting alimony in court, but always safe, because the information I'm giving you is very general and it's based on my general information of family law. So make sure that you consult with a family law attorney. So keep those questions coming. I am talking about how to fix your immigration status if you are in the United States and you don't qualify to apply. So how do you know that you don't qualify to apply? So user 544, we're married since from 3 years, and he has a business. I've been helping him since 3 years to upgrade his business. So that may play a very important role in your request for alimony, but talk to a family law attorney because they can best direct you through that process and effectively get you through the court system and ask and make that request for alimony. So if you would like to fix your immigration status, you're in the United States, how do you know whether you qualify to apply in the United States or not? So that's the first question here. So Moasola, my fiance got a letter of denial on his request for an extension of stay, but we ignored it. So in this case, if you ignored the letter of denial on his request for extension, then that means that his status is definitely, he's probably fallen out of status. And, I would want to evaluate the circumstances more closely to advise. That's definitely something that you want to consult an attorney on, because if he denied it and he's overstayed by over 90 days, then he's in unlawful presence territory. What that means is if he overstays by over 90 days or more, if he leaves the United States, he's going to be barred for 3 years. If it's been more than a year since he overstayed and he's fallen out of status, he's going to be barred from coming to the United States for 10 years. So it's a very serious thing. He becomes inadmissible. Even if you apply for the green card and he's outside of the United States, then he would not be granted that. He would have to go through extra hoops like apply for forgiveness, which is more complicated. Now, if you are a U.S. citizen and your fiance is here in the United States, and he came in with the visa, one way to fix that, since we're talking about fixing immigration status, one way is if you do get married. So if you get married, you're a U.S. citizen, and you get married, then he would qualify, and all being well, he doesn't have any other issues in his background, which is why it's best to consult an immigration attorney. But generally speaking, the spouse of a U.S. citizen who overstays their visa can apply for the green card here and not have the overstay affect them. So it wouldn't, they would be forgiven automatically for overstaying their visa and for the unlawful presence. So it's very important at this point to get legal advice so that you can go about this process correctly. So go ahead and give my office a call and schedule a consultation to get advice on how to fix it, and I can definitely help you through that process. My number is so you are a U.S. citizen. So Moasola, go ahead and make sure you get legal advice, because the information I'm giving you is very general. You want to make sure that the legal advice you're getting is specific to your circumstances. You can give me a call to get legal advice, further legal advice. That way you go into this green card process knowing that you're okay, knowing that you're doing everything correctly. Okay, so let's see. Star 6. What options are available for persons who overstayed their visa? So that is a very loaded question. Now, usually it is going to be, you have to fix your status either through family. So it's mainly through family, right? If you overstayed your visa and you qualify through a U.S. citizen parent, a U.S. citizen spouse, or a U.S. citizen son or daughter who's 21 and up, then that is one way, is to apply for the green card while you're in the United States. However, keep in mind that if you are over 21 and unmarried and you're the son or daughter of a US citizen, you wouldn't qualify because only the spouse, the child as in under 21 and unmarried, and the parent qualify to apply within the United States even if they overstay their visa. Another option to fix your immigration status is if you qualify through any other type of family member is to apply for forgiveness first. When you do get that forgiveness, it allows you to go to your home country, apply, and then finish the green card process. So you could wait here, get the waiver approved, and as soon as it's approved, and as soon as the interview date comes, you can take that approved waiver and go to your home country, attend the interview, and that overstay of the visa will not be held against you. Now, in order to qualify for that waiver, you would have to have a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident, green card holder, spouse, or parent who will experience extreme hardships if you are not allowed to come back to the United States. So and you can get that waiver if an employer is applying for you as well. So through an employment-based visa, then you can also use that waiver if you have that qualifying relative. So there's a lot there. If you're in a situation like this, give me a call and schedule a consultation because you could definitely there are ways to fix your status. You just have to figure out what applies to you. Keisha 13, can someone tell me the correct fees for kids under 14 years for the I-485 and do I have to pay? So if you go to the uscis.gov website and you go to the forms, you click on forms, find the I-48 form, and you click on the fees, and it will list the fees for the kids under 14. So Moasola, so now I'm going to file for him. So I saw that. What is the current biometric fees for adults? 485. So the fee is $85 usually, and with the kids, I believe if they're over 14, they will need, or 14 and up, they'll need the fingerprinting. But you can find all of that information at the uscis.gov website. If you click on forms, go to the name of the form, you'll see the information you need there. *6 or *6. What options are available for persons who overstayed on their visitor's visa? So I gave an answer there. I hope that answer is helpful. If you're in that situation, give me a call. So Twan 179, how long after you married can you get a visa? So hi there, Urana. If you're talking about the green card, then there is no time limit on when you can apply for the visa, as long as you can show that your marriage is real. So keep those questions coming. These are all great questions. Let's see. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody's questions. So go ahead, drop your questions. I'm talking about how to fix your immigration status in the United States. So I basically talked about the waiver process earlier on in response to one of the questions, and that is one way to fix your immigration status if you don't qualify to apply while you're in the United States. So those who qualify to apply in the United States are those who can maintain. Hi there, Gabby, it's nice to see you. Go ahead, and if you have your questions, go ahead and drop your questions in the comments. Thanks for following me, Eric Young. So now, who qualifies to fix their status while being in the United States? Basically, who qualifies to apply for the green card while being in the United States? So those individuals are the spouse, the parent, and the child, as in under 21 and unmarried, of a U.S. citizen. Otherwise, you will need to maintain your legal status, as in maintain your visa, and have it valid and current, and you don't overstay the authorized time for the duration of the green card process to qualify. So that means that you'll have to have your visa for through the up to 2 years or more that the green card process will take. And the length of time that it takes really depends on who's applying for you to get the green card. So usually when you have a B2 visa or visitor's visa, it's very hard to maintain your legal status for that long. Trace Willie, it's nice to see you. How long after your petition has been approved does it take to get your visa appointment? So usually it has to go from the USCIS to the National Visa Center. Because of COVID, everything has been backlogged. But I would say if it took a year to get it approved, you can expect maybe another 6 months to a year to get that visa appointment. So Twan179, what if you are pregnant? Can you still apply for the green card and have that child over there? So if you are pregnant and say you're outside of the United States and you're pregnant, and you do get approved for it, then yes, you certainly can travel to the United States with that immigrant visa and then have your child here in the United States. If you're applying while you're in the United States and you're pregnant and you get it approved, or you're just here, you can have that baby here. So they won't stop you from having your baby as long as you are authorized to come into the United States and live. So so can someone who seeks asylum as gay change his status to be straight after becoming a citizen? So, it is your right to choose your sexual preferences, right? It's not something that you're prohibited from doing. Now, one thing is that it just depends on the circumstances. So if you will need to explain what happened, the circumstances, you may get questioned on it. As to why is it that you and if after becoming a citizen you have decided to change your preference, that's your business, and so nobody should be infringing on your decision to be who you are. So it should not be something that anybody because that's what you sought asylum for, right? The right to make those decisions. And so if you evolve as an individual and evolve as a person based on your preferences, then you should not be deprived of that right. So you can do whatever you want. Yes. So you're welcome, Trace Willie. Gabby, I didn't get your answer. My spouse and I are looking for an attorney who would like, and we would like to know the price. So Gabby, let me see if I can trace your questions, because I don't know if So Gabby, can you ask that question again? Because I don't believe, I don't see your question. But you can always call my office at 561-405-4889 to schedule a consultation. My initial consultation is $150 for up to an hour. In that time, you get to ask your questions. You get all the legal advice that's necessary under the circumstances. And in that time, I can gauge what is going on with your situation. And then I can give you the price to represent you throughout the green card process. So, Gabby, it really depends on what your situation is, because everybody has a different situation. Some can be more complex than others, and so the best way to do it is to go through the consultation first, for me to for me to advise you, and also for me to determine what your situation looks like. And then in that consultation, I can provide you a quotation on what it will take to represent you through the process. So give me a call. Thank you, Gabby. I'm looking forward to seeing you. So let's see. Can my brother-in-law, born citizen, and or my sister, soon to be green card holder, apply for me? So your sister, who's a green card holder, will not be able to apply for you, and your brother-in-law will not be able to apply for you. Your sister would be able to apply for you once she becomes a U.S. citizen, but keep in mind that it's not a quick fix, because the green card process for siblings is so long right now. So the green card process for siblings takes at least 14 years, and it's more depending on where you're from. So for example, if you're in Mexico, it's taking 22 years. If you're in India, it's taking, I believe, 19 years. In the Philippines, it's taking or India is 15 years, Philippines is 19 years. So it all depends on where you're from, and everywhere else is 14 years. So it's not a quick fix. But it is something that once she becomes a U.S. citizen, it is an option if it is your only option. So great questions. And Sunusila, you are welcome. So go ahead and drop your questions in the comments. I usually come with a topic. Tuan, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. So I usually come with a topic, and so I've been, between questions, I've been talking about how to fix your immigration status if you're in the United States, and if you don't qualify to stay in the United States and apply for the green card, then you can apply for forgiveness for living in the United States without your papers. It's called unlawful presence waiver, and then that will allow you to be able to travel when you do get notice that it's time to go to your interview. It gives you time to travel. It gives you the permission to travel to the country and apply for your green card at the U.S. Embassy in your country. So keep those questions coming. Now, if you are in the United States and you want to fix your status, you have to, that means that you've overstayed your visa. You have to be the U.S., the spouse, the parent, or the child under 21 and unmarried of a U.S. citizen. You have to overstay your visa. Now, if you came in without a visa, then it's not going to work. You'll still have to go through the waiver process. So Cotino, how long does a mother with a green card to apply for her baby that's outside of the US? Right now, I would say prepare for a 1.5 to 2 year process to apply for your child. You're welcome, Elihu. So great questions. Keep those questions coming. Now, if you are not the spouse of a U.S. citizen, the parent of a U.S. citizen, or a child under 21 and unmarried of a U.S. citizen, then you will, and you have fallen out of status. Or even if you're a spouse, a parent, or a child under 21 and you came into the country without a visa, so you came in without permission, then you will not be able to stay in the United States and apply. You'll first stay in the United States, apply for a waiver, and then finish the green card process in your home country. So it does get complicated, and you want to make sure that you get guidance throughout the process, depending on your particular circumstances. So, another way that you can stay in the United States and fix your status is if you are the spouse of a U.S. Citizen or legal permanent resident, or you have a citizen son or daughter who's 21 and up and they're mistreating you. They're verbally abusing you, emotionally abusing you, financially abusing you, and physically abusing you. Now, physical abuse is not required. They could be putting you through a rough time, treating you badly, and that could be enough to qualify to apply for the green card on your own while staying in the United States. With that process, you can apply for a work permit and stay in the United States for the duration of the process, which will take about 2 to 2.5 years to be completed. So that is another way that you can stay and fix your immigration status and get the green card on your own. That's one of the exceptions here, is that you can actually be the spouse or the child under 24 of a legal permanent resident and fall out of status, or even come into the United States without your papers and still qualify to apply for the green card on your own based on abuse or mistreatment. So keep that in mind. If you're in a situation like that, any one of these situations where you're gonna need a waiver, or you can stay here, you can apply for the green card, give me a call, because this is exactly what I do. Hi, Son Grace, love, it's nice to see you. So Elihu, you're welcome. Let's see. So keep those questions coming. I just want you to know that if you ask your question, it is a little bit delayed on my end. So just hang tight while your questions appear on my screen. So Elihu, can a visa B1, B2 holder apply for a work permit? Is a work permit separate from the green card? Great question. So you have to be applying for some sort of immigration benefit to get the work permit. So for example, you have to be applying for a type of visa or a type of green card and you have to be applying for it while you're in the United States to get the work permit. So Son Grace Love, my husband came over in January with his son who is 20. Can he stay with us? We filed I-130 already. So if you are a US citizen and you filed the I-130, then yes. Now your son who is under 20, so he's 20 right now, the clock is ticking, right? Because in order for your stepson to qualify, which he does qualify, he has to be under 21 and unmarried and of a US citizen. And another thing, you have to get married to your stepson's father before he turns 18. So if you've been married before he turns 18, he would qualify as an immediate relative and you would be able to apply for the green card for him. However, the clock is ticking because once he turns over 21, then he could age out. But there is a law that's in place that protects children under 21 in certain circumstances. In order to advise you further on whether that law will apply to your son, it's best, so you applied after they turned 18, so he would not qualify as your stepchild. And once he turns 18, he will be accruing unlawful presence. So he would not qualify to be able to apply. So your green card husband can apply for the son, but what will happen is that he will be without status. And then that means that he'll need a waiver. So it's going to get very complicated. In your situation, I definitely urge you, don't go without legal advice, because this is a complex situation that needs strategy. You need advice, and in some cases you can make decisions before the damage is done, because it can get it can get complicated and it can get ugly, because if your son is here, and say he's here over 90 days, and then he will if he leaves the country, he'll be barred from coming back to the United States for 3 years. What would happen is your husband would have to apply for him when he gets the green card, and then you'll have to apply for a waiver, but the waiver is never guaranteed to be approved, and that waiver is complex and it does need some legal know-how to get it done. So right now you should schedule a consultation to figure out a strategy on how to approach it, because it can get complicated. Now what you can do is you can call 561-405-4889, and you'll get this scheduling coordinator who will put you on my calendar to talk this through in detail. You can also visit the website. The link is in my bio, where you can get my contact information, or you can your husband does have his green card. So yeah, but in this case, because he is, he doesn't qualify to apply within the United States. So there's going to be some strategy. So I'm looking forward to hearing from your son, Grace Love. So great questions. And it's always best to ask your questions when in doubt, especially. So I believe I covered the topic on how to fix your immigration status in a nutshell. The information I've given you is very general. So if anything strikes you as familiar, you're welcome, son, Grace Love, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you so I can talk to you and your husband a bit more about what will be required and your circumstances. So I am here every night or every day, so please go ahead. So let's see, Melly. If someone got denied from DACA and married right after, and after dating a girl for a year, so if you got denied DACA, the first thing I'd want to find out is why did you get denied from DACA? Because if it's based on, for example, now if it's based on a situation, so a criminal situation, then it could very well affect the green card application, and that gets complicated. You definitely need legal advice to figure out how to fix it. Now, there is no time limit on getting married and when you can apply for the green card. So it's not necessarily the time. So no proof of engagement, no ring. But what other things can you show in the relationship that would make it to show that it's a real marriage, right? So it all depends on what the situation is. I would suggest you definitely get legal advice. And the concerning part here is I hear you were, not you, but someone was denied DACA, and I would want to figure out why, first of all, and whether that same thing will disqualify them from applying for the green card, or will it make it more complicated. But there's no time limit on how long after getting married you can apply for the green card. So son, Grace Love. So my stepson's flight was canceled due to Trinidad and Tobago border still closed. Should I apply for an extension? So an extension would never hurt. That would never hurt to apply for the extension, because what happens is when while you apply for the extension, even if the authorized time expires, then they will not hold it against you until they make a decision. So even if it expires, as long as an extension is pending, you can wait until that decision. So I don't know though. Now, if If he fell out of status and you never applied for the extension, that's a different story. But if you apply for the extension before it expires, that never hurts, and that is a good idea. But I would want to talk to you to figure out what's going on. Vanessa Field 4, thank you for sharing my live. I appreciate that. So go ahead and give the office a call at 561-405-4889 to schedule a consultation to get personal legal advice, because all the information that I've discussed here is not personal legal advice, it's general information. So if anything, if you can relate to anything here, or if you even have other issues going on, give me a call, and we can schedule a consultation, and I can advise you properly based on your particular circumstances. So if you're not following me, follow me. So Vanessa Field 4, I'm located in Boca Raton, Florida, but I represent clients all over the country and the world, because even people outside of the United States who want to come to the United States need that representation. So we're, as immigration attorneys, we work with the USCIS offices all over the country, because they're scattered all over the country. And you know, when you submit your applications, you're filing it across state lines. And so we as immigration attorneys are very good at representing clients all over the country. So give me a call. I can do a phone or video consultation as well. And if I am representing you, we're very efficient at working with you through the process, regardless of what's necessary. So thank you, everyone. Check me out. Check the link out in my bio if you want to learn more. You can go to the website. If you want us to contact you, complete the contact form and we'll call you during the next business day. Also, there are receptionists answering the phones 24/7 at the firm. So they're after hours receptionists. So you can, if you're up at 1 a.m., you're struggling with a situation, give us a call. The receptionist will take your information, and then the scheduling coordinator will get back in touch with you at the soonest opportunity to get you on my calendar so we can talk more. All right? So have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.